Hello, we are live apparently. So the big screen tells me live and kicking. And who knows if we'll have an AZ tonight. I don't know. I haven't heard from him. And look at the early arrivals. Heist and Rodney and Megaleech and PBR, all early for the Nangs, which I'm probably going to have to explain multiple times tonight. But that's okay. That's okay. I don't mind explaining things. Well, some people I'll probably just have to explain Nangs to. And to others, I'll just have to explain why I'm talking about Nangs. And might as well start with that explanation. I saw this ridiculous story that Channel 9 ran on Twitter. Hey, Fox of 8, how's it going? So it's like, because Schoolies is on now. And they had this thing like, Schoolies has gone wild. People found like 50 Nangs in a party district. There's 50 Nangs. And Nangs are little nitrous oxide capsules that are meant for making whipped cream. There's specific things you put them in. You put cream in the canister, screw the top in, put the bloody nitrous thing in there and screw it in, and it injects nitrous oxide into the cream, and then squirt it out a nozzle, and it's cream. Luke, you're saying there's no audio on Facebook. That's weird. Yes, PBR, it's laughing gas. It is an anesthetic. You can get, what do you call it? Nitrous oxide in various, it's not so much strengths as purities. You get industrial nitrous, like people who have nitrous cylinders they put in their cars to make the cars go fast. And there are other industrial uses for nitrous oxide, but that is somewhat impure, and inhaling that is not a fantastic idea because it can have impurities in it. It's the cheapest form of a purchasable nitrous oxide. Then you get food grade nitrous, which is supposed to be used for making whipped cream. And then you get medical grade nitrous, which is an anesthetic, and it can completely put you under. Like when dentists used it just to numb or distract you from pain, it got the name laughing gas because it does make you high. And if you do one of these little Nangs, whippets we called them in my day because you made whipped cream with them, you get a high that lasts about 30 seconds. So 50 Nangs, one person doing 50 Nangs is a bit high for 10 minutes, or half a dozen people are a bit high for 2 minutes. And hello, musical aviator Adele and Justin, nice to see you. I am just going to check something on the book do face and see what I can see. Wait, that's what I wanted. I need to play that. Is that going to work? I don't know if it'll even play for me. I got my speaker on. It's not even playing for me on Facebook. Ah, well. I could plug something in. I hope I haven't actually killed my live stream by doing that. Oh, that was weird. Someone in the backyard. PBR, it's not Amel. Amel is actually dangerous. Amel was... Oh, wait. That's what we want. The book do face. No, there is sound on Facebook. There you go. Yeah, Amel's actually dangerous. And Amel was a sex thing, particularly with the gay crowd. again, back in my day, I think it still is. People call it poppers. Amel poppers, but it's a very similar hit, as in Amel. There's that strange figure in the backyard again. Amel is a very short-term hit, but Amel is much more dangerous than nitrous oxide. You wouldn't. You do sometimes hear so. Rodney, yeah, I'm sure you're jokingly saying the thing about Nangs causing brain damage. Some Boomer Media said it did. But I think probably the worst thing that could happen if you did lots of Nangs, maybe you would starve your brain of oxygen a little bit. I would want a medical person to answer that, because there's a big difference between, self-medicating and being under supervised anesthesia. That's why you have specialized anesthesiologists, because anesthesia can go wrong easily. Yes. Oh, God. PBR, you should be in a government anti-drug campaign. That's a winner. Only Nongs do Nangs. I'm going to put that on a T-shirt and see if someone thinks I'm serious. Only Nongs do Nangs. Adele, they're a shitty high. It's basically a really, one Nang is a really short-term head rush high. Honestly, I wouldn't call it a shitty high. It's pretty good. It just lasts for 30 seconds. Yes, it's very weird that it clears out of your system so quickly. Adele, you have the Ning Nang Nong song going through your head. I don't think I know the Ning Nang Nong song, and I'm possibly all the better for not knowing the Ning Nang Nong song. That is slightly difficult to say, just a little, which I'm sure was the point of the song. In fact, the comedic. It's from Play School, of course it is. I just feel like in the rehearsals, because a lot of the people who've done Play School over the years have had pretty wicked senses of humor. I'm just imagining Ning Nang Nong, just them really getting risque in rehearsals. There's a line that says the cow goes bong. Yeah, there's no way in rehearsals the Play School people don't take the piss of that song. People say that Ging, that's the Scouts or Girl Guide song, Ging Gang Gully 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 Bing Bang Ging Gang Ging 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 Ging. So I don't think that's the same one. That's like a Boy Scout or Girl Guide or both song. I was never in the Boy Scouts, so I don't know that song. I know of it. I know which one you're talking about with the Gang Gang Gully 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 Wish Wash Ging Gang Goo Ging Gang Goo. I think people at school must have sung it occasionally, but yes, there's never one with the Scouts or the what do you call it? I'm not sure if we have. I think Cubs was the young version of Scouts. I don't know if we had any other of those sorts of things in Australia. I know they have a few different ones in America. I don't know that we do in Australia. Because I never looked into it because it's like where you see all those American things on the kids going to summer camp, and it just looked nightmarish. I'm just going. Oh, start a watch party. You don't want to do that. Okay, that's a bit wild. I'm just sharing a live thing on Facebook. Let's do that. Then I'll kill Facebook in case it's killing my bandwidth. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? It's Watcher. Okay. Thanks, Megaleech. You actually do the scout thing, did you? Rodney, Cub Scouts, Venturers, Rovers, Pedos. That's the people who run them. Music over, you did Scouts for a year or two, found it a bore. Dib, 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 dob, dob, dob. Oh my God, who remembers the Goodies episode about the Scouts and how the Scouts ended up being outlawed? And yes, Tim Brooke Taylor was an undercover scout. And that's right, the reason Scouts got made illegal is because Bill and Graham dressed up as scouts and committed crimes, which Tim was very upset by, as was often the case. He was upset about something. So Rodney, you're saying dib, 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 DYB actually stands for do your best. That's interesting. Okay. All right, cool, musical aviator. You turned 10 and thought brass band was more fun. That does sound cooler to me, quite honestly. I never did music either. I didn't do anything useful with my life. Didn't learn... so that's okay, Rodney. You're saying, and DOB stands for do our best. So that's call and response. Dib, 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 do your best. Dob, 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 do our best. Hey, Will, how's it going? Luke, Sea Scouts you did for a year. Did you get? Does that involve going on boats? Was that? Did you join L. Ron Hubbard's Sea? What did he call the weird Scientology sea thing? Or it's like still going with that freak Miss Cabbage running it now. But yeah, Elron had wild stuff going on. I'll just say to Lisa, I think there is a very long delay on Facebook. Like usually on YouTube, there's about a 10-second delay between when I say something and when people see it. And then like I see text comments more or less when people enter them. But there's about a 10-second delay of from when I say something to when anyone hears it. It's looking like there's quite a long delay on Facebook, anywhere from 30 seconds to 60 seconds. The Sea Org, PBR and Megaleech both know their Scientology lore. The Sea Org, that is weird. Like I've only read a little bit. There is a very fun podcast called Behind the Bastards. It's been running for a couple of years, so there's a lot of episodes of it. A really annoying bit of loose skin, and it's really gauche of me to bite it, but it just really gets to me. So Behind the Bastards, he like tells you stuff you maybe don't know about terrible people. And while L. Ron Hubbard is terrible, the host of the show, he seems somewhat in awe of L. Ron just for the scale of his con. Like the whole scale of his scam was on such a large scale. The host can't help but be in awe of it. Ah, Lisa, you're going to come on and tell me you visited. Okay, I will actually invite you on. That will involve me opening up Facebook and DMing you, I guess, which will just take a minute. New message. Good. This laptop is responding a little bit slow. Lisa. And I paste that in there. There we go. All right. I just sent you a link, Lisa. There you go. Yes, PBR. L. Ron, while he was a struggling writer, writing mainly potboiler sci-fi, was regarded to have said to a group of his friends, the easiest way to make a lot of money would be to start a religion. And he did, and he made a lot, and he went a bit crazy. But yeah, the Behind the Bastards has, oh my God, multiple, like up to half a dozen episodes on L. Ron and the Scientologists. And the stories are absolutely fascinating. All the wild shit Hubbard did. Yeah, like really, really bad, evil, and wrong shit. But hard not to be fascinated by it. I think. Rodney, I'm sure people want to know what the L stood for. What does the internet tell us? Probably not. Oh, his first that Ron was really his name, but his first name is Lafayette. That is really interesting that he decided people wouldn't like the name Lafayette, but he kept the L. That is interesting. Rodney, you want the link for my podcast? Or you have to, the Behind the Bastards. Just search Behind the Bastards podcast. You'll find it straight away. They got lots and lots of episodes of it. It's a very good thing. Yes, if you're talking about my podcast, you just have to talk about you have to search for the Angry Aussie podcast and it'll come up. Do record another episode this week, actually. Yes, there's there's well over 100 episodes of Behind the Bastards. I think you just have to search through and find it. So, he's done a bit of everything. He tries to do a bit different. Like, obviously, he did stuff on Hitler, but he tried to focus on what a loser Hitler was romantically. And he did Saddam Hussein and focused on, or didn't focus on, but talked about Saddam Hussein's erotic novel writing. And oh my God, it's just like, with Stalin, he sort of looked at what a shitty father Stalin was. And he does explore some very lesser known ones as well. I'm just trying to think of what one it was. Behind the Bastards. His most recent ones were on Kaiser Wilhelm. He's done a lot about what we would call fake doctors. And on a couple of the fake doctor stories, he's got he always has a co-host. Like, he researches as a journalist and he gets a comedian in to play off what he's doing. And my all-time favorite is a Southern comedian called Billy Wayne Davis. He's fucking. Oh wait, there you are.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How you doing? Lisa's joining you.
Bored out of my mind at work.
You were going to tell us about your adventures with Scientologists.
Oh my God, Father. Yeah. I actually, so 6 years ago was the first time I went to America.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit strange. So I was going to LA for the Gallifrey One convention, the big Doctor Who convention. And I wanted to stay like in WeHo, which is West Hollywood, right?
Yeah.
So I figured that I'd stay at the Travel Lodge, which the Travel Lodge is next door to like a big children's hospital and a surgical hospital, but behind the Travel Lodge on Vermont and Sunset is the Church of fucking Scientology.
Okay,
so it's literally like right behind it, like it's the building behind it, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, well, while I was waiting for my friend who was meeting me to go and have a look for the morning, and it was like one of the strangest mornings I've ever had. So I walked over, because you walk over, like, just walk down the street and you walk past, like, I've got photos on my Facebook, and Ronald Hubbard Way is like paved like a pergola, like with bricks.
Okay.
Yeah, which is really like, okay. So I thought I'd take some, like, it's the big blue one that Louis Theroux goes to, like it's that one. So I walked across and I had my camera and, I was taking photos, and I stepped back across the road so I could take a big photo. And then I just went back across the road. I thought, I better have a look, because like the size of it is like, you don't realize how big that building is until you go there. Like the size of the building is like, it's incredible. Like I think it's about the size, to be honest with you, it's about this, actually it'd be about the size of the Alfred in Melbourne, like the Alfred Hospital. Like
They're pretty big.
It's huge, right? It's this massive big blue building, like right in the middle of like LA, and it sticks out, and the word Scientology and like the whole thing, and it's like you just stand there and you're like, fuck. And as I was standing there, and then all of a sudden this girl turns up. Like, I just didn't really notice her at first, and she had like the little like the maroon polo and like the bone colored like capri pants and the boat shoes, hair slicked back with like the little glasses.
Yeah.
And to start with, she just walked past me. I didn't even realize. And then she stopped about, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet away, turned and then walked straight like in front of me right into my personal space, so that way she would get my attention. And then she stopped, turned and looked at me, and I like looked naturally like to follow. And I just went, and she just goes, do you have any questions? As if to be like, and I'm like standing just going, oh, fuck no. I've only been in this country for like 3 days. I do not need to be like stabbed by the psychos. So I stood there and I just went, it's a lot bigger than it is on the TV, isn't it? And then she just stood there and like tilted her head, looked at me and just went, look, I'm sorry, look, my name's Lisa. Look, I'm from Australia. I'm a tourist. I'm just staying at the Travel Lodge over there. This happens to be behind the building. I just thought I'd come here and have a look. I'm really sorry. Look, I don't care what you believe in. Look, I'm a Catholic. I believe in God. Like, seriously, I'm not from the media. I'm not here to cause any problems. I just came here to have a look, please. Like, and she just looks at me and goes, no, that's okay. That's fine. Take your time. Look around. If you got any questions, just let me know. My name's such and such. And I was just like, oh, fuck, thank God. So I walked up around the side, took some photos of the Sea Org, right? The Sea Org.
Yes. The Sea Org, yes.
The Sea Org. Because when I went there, I think it was like 2 weeks before Elron's birthday. So they had like all the signs and stuff. And then you go around the front, and where the front is actually next to where the children's hospital is.
Yeah.
So I went around the front, and then I went inside. And when you go inside, it's like, it's decked out like a church. Like, it's the most bizarre thing. And you go to the front corner, and I shit you not, counter, and there's like all the girls in there are all gorgeous and blonde. All gorgeous blonde, like something out of Barbie.
Yeah, yeah.
And you go to the front counter, and they give you a slip. And they go, hi, how are you? Welcome to the Church of Scientology. And on the slip, it said, how did you hear about us? And the first thing it says, you were sent here by the Honourable L. Ron Hubbard himself.
Wow.
And I was like, why didn't I not like take a photo or like keep a copy of this slip? Because like I just stood there and went, fuck, they buy into it. And then I went inside and the girls were like, oh, how can we help you? I said, look, my name's Lisa. I'm from Australia. I'm just here as a tourist. I just thought I'd come and have a look. Like I just, I'm a Catholic. I believe in God. But if you're going to criticize religion, like I'd like to actually understand what you're about first, because I'd like to learn about you. And they were like, we like you, Lisa. That's fine. Come on in. And they showed me around, and according to them, like, explain what Dianetics is. Like, Dianetics is they believe that you need to relive your past traumas in order to be free. Like, they don't go on about the fate and shit or anything like that.
Yeah.
And they show you like all these displays and everything else. And I was like, look, at the time I was nursing. I was like, look, I'm a nurse. You know, I'm on holiday. Like, you know, like I do. Like, I was trying to, in a roundabout way, I was trying to find out what the game was.
Yes.
And like, oh, if you want to know about like human rights, and they just believe that L. Ron Hubbard like fucking invented everything. Like he's God for everything. Like, you know, he's like the founder of civil rights. He's the founder of fucking science, you name it. So I was like, okay, cool. And then they got me to hold like the machine, like the, you know, like
the e-meter.
The e-meter.
You hold the thing in each hand, yeah.
Yeah, and then they got me talking about my job. So, of course, naturally it went up because, you know, I was getting a bit stressed. And then I went around the corner and they actually have a whole replica of Elron's actual office. Like, it's actually completely replicated.
Oh,
and I was gonna take some photos. And I thought, oh, hang on, these guys have got like a bit of a rep. So I went around the corner and there was a guy sitting there at the desk. And he looked perfect. And I walked over to him and I said, hi, how are you? And he's like, I'm good. And I go, I was wondering, yes. I was wondering, can I take a photo of the office? He goes, no. In like this really like threatening but non-threatening way. And I was like, okay. And then he goes, it's like a really chipper. And he goes, oh, and I'm just so glad that you asked. And I'm like, I think it's time to go. So I walked around and I walked to the front. The girls were like, oh, so you're from Australia? I'm like, yeah, you know, in my country we have this thing called, you know, healthcare and welfare. And, you know, they pay me to have kids and breed. And, you know, I told them all about Australia. I'm like, Australia sounds wonderful, Lisa. And they said, did you enjoy your morning? I'm like, you know what? I really did. And I thought it was really great. Thanks for having me. Like, because I thought, no, I'm not going to be a dickhead to you guys. And they were like, you know what, Lisa, you can come back whenever you want and you can bring your friends. And then I left. I was like, what the fuck was that? It was the strangest thing. And yeah, like it was the actual one like that Thoreau goes to. But like I had a feeling if I stayed there longer, I think they would have like tried to convert me. Like it was kind of like they were trying to see. Oh, like totally. Like it was. But I do recommend as a tourist just to go and have a look just for shits and giggles. But like, because I did a lot of research into it before I went, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to get converted by you people. Like, and it's like, yeah, like the stuff that like the Thoreau movie that he did, like I watched that and I was like, holy shit, you guys are like crazy fuckers. And it's like that's a really good argument to tax churches because that's not a church. I'm sorry, that is a cult.
No, it's a scam. It's an absolute scam.
It's a scam. Like, I mean, like when you look at what the whole levels and the whole thing's about, you're just like, how the fuck do they get away with it? Like, I mean, how do they allow people to get away with it, Andrew? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. And I tell you, what you hit on is one area where I part ways with a lot of atheists, people who are quite vocal about their atheism. Because, I mean, functionally, I'm an atheist by any definition. But when I get people who go, when you pick on Scientology, they just go, but all religions are like that. And I go, no. No,
they're not.
They are.
No, they're not.
They are. And I was like, no, shut up. You sound stupid. And it's just like, I'll tell you my adventures with the Scientology.
I want to hear because I've shared mine.
This was a long time ago and it was in Sydney.
Isn't it shut down now?
I don't know. They're not very active in Australia.
They still have the one in Essendon across from the tram depot. That's still there.
They moved. They used to have their HQ was actually in the city, and they moved out to the suburbs.
Apparently, they do a really good dinner.
Oh,
apparently,
okay.
they got a cafe, and apparently, it's very, very good.
Oh, okay. I've done food with the Hare Krishnas, but not with the Scientologists.
I'd imagine it wouldn't be bad. Like, I mean, they were very nice, despite the fact that they're all incredibly brainwashed. But
it's a cult. It's a full-on spooky cult.
Full up. Like, I think that's the thing. Like, there's a difference between a religious group and a cult. Like, I mean, you look at the Catholic Church. That's a church. But then you look at like FLDS, which was like, you know, Warren Jeffs, and that's a cult. But they're both the same ideology. You know what I
It's
mean?
like there's like a slider, and it's like at
Mm.
one end of the scale, it's the established religions, and yes, you can argue that it's all hocus pocus or whatever, and you sort of glide across, and the further you go across, the less rational they get, and the more cult-like they get.
Well, the whole thing is they work on the same premises as terrorism groups as well. Like they just cut people off from reality and they indoctrinate people into their crazy ideology. If you want to read a book that's really good about that, go find The Witness Wore Red.
Okay.
Yeah, The Witness Wore Red is by Rebecca Musser, and I did it as an audiobook, and she escaped the FLDS under Warren Jeffs and brought the FLDS down.
Okay.
And she was the 18th wife of his father.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, so it's all about the extreme FLDS and the polygamy and the indoctrination into that church. And, like, it's just her story. And at times I was actually crying in it. Like, I was full-blown crying in it. Like, there's she describes a scene where he taped himself. He did some very bad things to a underage girl in front of other women. It's pretty heavy, but I mean that's the thing. It was a cult, and even she admits it was a cult. Yeah, you know. So but she grew up.
They're like a splinter group from the Mormons. They like a breakaway group from the Mormons.
Yeah. So the FLDS practice what is considered the true Mormonism. So they because the like normal like LDS they like banned like polygamy and they banned like multiple marriage and a lot of stuff, and like they got rid of a lot of the racist aspects out of it, and you know like they do believe like in having heaps of kids, but they don't believe in having like wives and sister wives and all that kind of stuff. Like all that's gone now. And they've just made like polygamy illegal in Utah as well. But like the FLDS is like the extreme version, and a lot of it's very much about controlling women and children. And like there's another one called The Polygamous Daughter, a memoir, and if you read that and if you read The Witness Wore Red, both of them explain the difference between a church and a cult, because what those two were cults. So that's Lamb of God Church and FLDS.
And I reckon kind of in the middle is our glorious Prime Minister's Hillsong Church.
Don't get me started on those pricks. Seriously, the fact that he hangs out with bloody Brian, whatever his freaking name is, Brian Houston. I actually met him as well.
Yeah. Oh, you met Houston as well?
I met Houston, I met him in 2006. I can tell you that story too, but I'd like to hear your one first about the Scientologist.
Oh, okay. So my Scientologist adventures. I was just after I finished uni. So, Fred Flintstone cars were driving around and everything. And I was broke as. I was unemployed and really broke. And I remember I was wandering around Sydney. I had less than $20 in my bank account. And look, this is going to get crowded now. Look who's joining the stream.
What are you doing in my spot?
Hey, man.
Why are you in my spot?
Yeah.
You're prettier
you weren't
than
here.
Me.
Yeah,
I know I wasn't here, but there was reasons for me not to be here because I had an amazing off day, and it started off at 4 o'clock in the morning because I said I must venture forth
at 4 a.m.
Yeah. So I got up in my good clothes and I went outside and I looked at my bomb. Now, when you say look
quick question. Quick question. By good clothes, do you mean you were naked when you went outside?
Briefly.
Yes. I've heard these stories before. Yeah. Okay.
Briefly until Jason said, do you want to maybe put some clothes on? And I went, no. And he said, what about the polices from last time? And he said, you've only got one more court appearance until you're jailed, and they won't give you in solitary. You'll have to have arse widening prison.
Oh,
and
no.
I went, well, that'd be bad.
Yeah, that would be bad.
So I put some clothes on and I went walking in the rain. I got my bomb which is
Yes.
the Bureau of Meteorology.
Oh, yes. Okay. Not a terrorism activity. You're the Bureau of Meteorology. Okay.
I'm not a terrorist.
I never
I'm a
said you were,
terrorist.
AZ. I never said you were. Come on, Andrew. I want to hear your story. I want to hear your story. And I want to give you my Hillsong
It
story.
goes, right. Okay, so
No, your one. Andrew's one. Andrew's got a story about Scientology.
That's okay. Oh, we were talking cults and religion, and we both had run-ins with Scientology. So,
Oh, no, AZ's gone.
Oh,
he'll
no,
come
I'm
back. I
still
think.
here.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
still
yeah.
well and truly here.
He's just
I'm
doing
just
something that I think he
offended.
doesn't want people to see on camera.
Oh,
I'm just
okay.
well and truly offended, Lisa.
Oh,
You can hear me just fine. Please feel free to listen to Angry's story about Scientology. I will pop in occasionally and help. I will help verbally.
All right. That sounds completely fair. So anyway, Scientologists in Sydney. I'm wandering around broke AF, wondering, because I think the ATMs had a minimum of a $20 withdrawal, and I had less than $20 in the account. So I thought, I'm going to have to go to a bank and take $10 out over the counter, which is super. And then this dude on the street with a clipboard says, "Would you like to take a quick survey?" And I was going, "Sure, I'm got nothing to do." And he asked like 3 questions, and it was like, "What do you want to change about yourself?" and something else. And I was like, "Okay." And then he said, "Would you like to find out more about how you can, change things?" And I was going, "Yeah, okay. I'm literally broke with nothing to do, so I'll follow you." He hasn't told me what it is, so I'm following him down the street. And we started approaching the Catholic club, and I thought, because I grew up Catholic, and I was like, oh God, if you're trying to take me to a Catholic thing, I'm leaving. But we got a couple more further on, and it's Scientologists, and I was like, oh, cool. Oh, what's this going to be like? And so I was really intrigued, and I said, okay. And then he went the full-on personality test with me. Yeah, I know, right? It was like,
at least I didn't get that now,
200 questions. It was wild. And I think it was so lengthy because it was part of their thing of wearing you down.
Yeah.
And the questions creeped me out because they were asking a lot of questions that were basically about what's your mental health like and how insecure are you about things. And I just thought this information in the wrong hands could be used for evil. I don't really trust these people, but I decided to answer honestly anyway. And then he comes up and he does this, the calculations, and there's this little chart of here's how you score.
Yeah,
there's 5 key things.
your area, right?
And
that sounds scary.
Oh, it's really vulnerable people should never talk to Scientologists because Scientologists prey on vulnerable people, and this test was designed to find you.
But that's what they do, right? This is what cults do. Like any cult does this.
Yeah, any cult does. Yeah,
any cult. But what they do is they find vulnerable people, and then they just play on all their vulnerabilities. It's like when I went to Hillsong 2006 because I trained with a girl who was a member of Hillsong.
Okay.
And she was like when I did my nursing, and Amy was like the most country bogan person I knew, right? Like, we went to a Bachelor and Spencer's ball in fucking Sandy Hollow there. I swear to God, she fucks more guys than me. So, and that's saying something. And he listened to Hillsong songs and everything there, but she went there and she was hooking up with dudes left, right, and center.
Lisa, darling, this is when you say, I've got a friend called AZ who's coming along. You won't need to pay any attention to him all night. At the end of the day, we'll tally up and see who got more roots.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about who fucked the most guys at a BNS.
Anyway.
No, not fucked the most guys. Got the most roots.
Yeah.
Semantics is very, very important here.
That's true.
I need to get drunk with you two at some point. Anyway, look, the whole thing.
I
drink vodka.
I don't drink very much.
Oh,
No,
damn, it's okay.
he's on
Andrew
different
does.
medication that drinking alcohol's not. What's the say? It's contraindicated.
Oh,
It's
okay, yeah,
contraindicated.
not good,
However,
not good.
I do a lot of other things.
Okay, we
A
can get you some of that.
lot.
That's fine. We can find some of that. Anyway,
Trust me, we
Oh.
can get a lot of that.
as long as you don't give it to me, I'm fine with it. Anyway,
Lisa,
so
do you still work in a hospital?
nah, I don't do it anymore.
If we knew a mate who knew a mate, could we accidentally, I don't know, drop a bottle of nitro or two off a box back the
Oh my
truck?
God, that's how this whole started, talking about nitrous
I have
oxide.
no idea, man. I can't help you. I don't know what to do. We'll have to have a. I don't know.
I'm sure Lisa's a really well-behaved nurse, but I used to live with
I
a
was
nurse.
a nurse. I was. I don't do it anymore. No.
No. The
What
nurses.
do you do now?
I drive a truck.
Right.
Oh,
It's a mad job. It's great.
I got
Nice.
an instant hard on.
I got hired because I'm a chick.
Lisa,
Nice.
the hard driving truck.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it at the meetup, Andrew.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I'll tell you. It's a good job.
Is it a Pantech?
No, dude. No, I only do the small one.
Pantech.
At this point. No, the HR, just the little one. I think I've just made 80
AT likes trucks, apparently. Yeah, there you go.
Well,
He's like growing up with his dad being a plumber.
Need to leave my camera on. I just need to broadcast for a second as I make noises that are inappropriate. I'm just going to turn my mute off because it makes feedback.
It does.
God.
Good
I'm
man.
scared.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll continue with my story. So we went to this BNS ball, right?
Yes.
And then my friend was like, "Do you want to come to church with me?" Because she's like, I'm not really like, I do believe that there is something out there, like there's a God out there, but I don't believe in organized religion, right? Like my parents were very much like, Dad's first cousins, like 3 of them were nuns, and like one ended up running off with one of them ended up running off with the priest, right? And then became a stress therapist. Yeah. And like the only reason they went into the church at the time was because it was either that or starve. You know what I mean? And even he used to say to me, he was like, it's fucking cruel what they do. They take young people and put them in the church and deprive them of all their youth. Like he was very much like, look, we're only going to go here to do the necessary things and then that's it. You know, like it was like, this is a once a year thing, kids. Like, you know, you go there for Christmas, you get your good vibes and fuck off. And by the way, you're not going to be an altar boy or an altar girl because I'm not going to allow that. Never. Thank God. He was very much like that. But like, so my friend was like, "Oh, come to Hillsong." I was like, "Okay." So we drove there. This is the big one in Castle Hill, by the way. This is the big one.
The big one.
And as we drove there, she changed. She wasn't Amy anymore. She was like, "Yeah, this is our church, and then this is our land, and here at our church, you know, we come here every Sunday, and we come here to worship, and we, you know, and you go there, right? And they have like people that work for it, like they come like to the study at the Bible school, and they actually came over with umbrellas to walk us from the car to the church. And when you get there, there's all these Gloria Jeans carts." Because it turns out that, because one of the owners of Gloria Jeans is a Hillsong person, right?
Yes.
And then you walk in, and the first thing you see is a fucking shop. And I'm thinking, hang on, Jesus wasn't exactly down with the retail kings, you know what I mean? Like he was more he walked in, he was more like, "Hey, dickhead, stop stealing money from poor people," and just wrecked the place and walked out like the badass, right? And then you go in there, and it's like a fucking rock concert. Like it's like going to like Rod Laver or something. Like you walk in, and they do like the whole music, and you're all like, "Yeah, man, this is cool," and you're all like, "Yeah, I'm into the whole like Christian vibe," and you're like, "Yeah, I like the music," because the music's really good. Like I have to admit, like the music's cool. And then you know how they have like collections in church. Well, this is 2006, remember?
Yeah.
And they read like a thing from Corinthians 2 about donating or something. I can't remember what it was now. And they go, "Yeah, by the way, we're just wondering, you know, if you want to donate today, we're passing around the collection bin. But also remember, you can donate by FPOS, check, credit card, or online."
Yeah.
And online, this is like 2006. They're onto the online donations, and I'm sitting there, I'm just going, "What the fuck have I walked into?"
Yeah.
And then they had like their whole message and stuff, and I was like, "Okay, this is fun." And then my friend, and they said, "Look, if you want to come down and join Hillsong and give your life to Jesus Christ, walk down the front now." And there's like Houston's like on his like trip at this point. He is like full blown fucking Messiah mode, and I'm standing there, I'm just going. I'm thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, mum and dad, like I may be Catholic, but like they taught me, man, you can't convert a Catholic. Like, fuck this. And I said to my friend, I was like, do you reckon I should go down? She's like, yeah, you should go down. You should go down. I'm like, I'm thinking, fuck, okay, I feel like I should. So I got about halfway down the stairs, and then I went to turn around to go back up. I thought, nah, fuck this. I'm Catholic. I'm getting the back of that fuck up here. Look, they may wear weird dresses and shit. Right, they may wear weird dresses and shit, but they don't push it onto you. She came down and followed me, put her hand on my back, and walked me down the front. And I'm walking down the front in front of like 3,000 people. And here I am, I'm standing there in front of Brian Houston, at least a foot away, and he looked straight at me. And when I looked into his eyes, I did not see any soul. There was nothing there.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there, and he looked at me as if to think, who the fuck are you? And I've just gone, and he's like, come, Christian, come, affirm your faith in Christ or some shit. I can't remember what it was. And then they take you out the back. They take you out the back, right? Because you got to turn around and wave, and then they take you out the back. Yeah, and they take you out the back, right? And the guy walks over to me, and he's gone, hi, my name's such and such. Here's your Bible. And I'm going, this ain't like no fucking Bible I've seen before. And he's like, yeah, and by the way, can we have your name and your address and your telephone number and your email address so that way we can ring you or email you to see how you're going with your walk in Jesus Christ, to see how you're going with your new walk with God. And I'm standing there, I'm going, this does not add up at all. Like, no, I know. And I just went, I stood there, I looked at it, and I thought, I've got to say something now, because if I don't think I'm going to get out alive. Because apparently they actually lock you in there. Because if you go to leave, they have security that stops you from leaving.
Yeah.
And so I walked over to the guy and said, look, thanks very much, but I'm a Catholic. I believe in God already, and I don't think this is for me. And I turned around and said to my friend, I said, look, Amy, this is all very nice and well, but the truth is I don't think this is me, and thanks for letting me come and check it out. And she goes, that's okay. That's fine. And then we went to Outback Steakhouse like nothing happened. It was the weirdest thing. Like, she changed. Like, it wasn't my friend anymore. Like, she became a completely different. It was like a whole personality changed. It was just like, who the fuck are you? And like, even the girl that walked us back to the car, she was like, I've come here from America to study with Hillsong, and I'm going to be a pastor, and I'm going to preach the church and everything else. And I'm like, okay, yeah, great, cool. I think I've just walked into a cult. Because that's what it felt like. Oh, it was cult. And I'm standing, I'm going, look, man, this is nothing like the All Saints Church back in Kempsey with old Father Burns. Like, this is just like, what in the... I mean, and it was like, it is a cult. And like, I met him, and I looked at him, and he looked at me scared, and I looked at him, and I was just like, there is no goodness in you, mate. And then when it came out what he did for his father, it didn't surprise me in the slightest, actually. The fact that he's friends with Scott Morrison,
a few people were asking in the chat, oh, you went there. Did you see Scummo there? But you were saying that was 2006.
That was 2006, yeah. That was 2006.
I mean, Scummo was busy shitting his pants at Engadine Macca's. So
yeah. I wish someone had a video of that.
Fake rumor anyone's ever made up. Just out of the blue, someone goes, well, you think Scott Morrison's so great? I happen to know for a fact he shit his pants at the Engadine Macca's after Cronulla Sharks lost a football game. I was like, okay, that's pretty good, isn't it? That thing you're saying where they want your phone number, etc. I've known people who've been in that type of churches, and what that is if you stop showing up, people will
ring
call you, and they'll come to your house and say, hey, it is like
Jehovah style.
If you're being very flattering to them, they're just barely this side of being a cult.
Do you know what I like to do when they ask me my phone number?
I'd say you give it to them.
I'll go for a couple of weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks, and I'll express interest into maybe volunteering for a few of their programs, a few of their after-school programs with
Oh
disadvantaged
God.
kids,
Okay.
and a few of their evening programs with
AZ, why do I
guys
feel
who
like
make
you? So what, you do it because you want to do it, or are you trying to troll them?
trolling is such a harsh word.
Okay.
Is such a harsh word, and I think trolling has many connotations that are poor. So I'll volunteer for the training program for men that have been living in the rough for a long time.
Oh, okay. So you actually do it to try and help.
And no, and I'll also volunteer to do the induction for kids with drug problems, which I will exacerbate over the next 6 months. Anyway,
That's
what
bad.
happens is I'll go properly for about a month and a half, and then all of a sudden stop. And then they'll call me a couple of times, and I'll answer the phone because I've got their number on name dial, and I'll answer the phone going, yeah, it's Daisy here. Can I maybe look, I'm gonna have to maybe a good time to talk to someone because it's a very difficult time, and I don't know what to do, and because my mum came back from Bali and she needed an extra $800, and she got it, and she promised it back to me, and I needed it for bills, but the deal didn't go through, and her dealer got arrested, and she just said them's the breaks, and I haven't got any money, and I don't know what to do. Right?
Yeah, right.
And so then 15 people
you should laugh. Yeah.
turn up with 1,500 grand, right?
Oh no.
And they all bulk it onto me at once. And I go, you guys are too good. I furnish my house. I buy a crap load of powder. And then I go to the teens induction. I go to the old man's induction, and I go to the what the fuck else did I induct?
I don't know.
Oh, it was old folks. I've done old folks before. They're a piece of piss.
Yeah.
People think that old folks are crotchety and they're nasty and they blah blah bullshit. They are basically 15-year-olds who've had their life. They've got no more responsibility. If they want to shit themselves, they can. If they don't want to shit themselves, they can't. If they make it to the dunny, yay. If they don't make it to the dunny, yay. They don't give a crap. And if they want to watch the TV, now because there's so many TVs, they can watch their own fucking TV. Also now, we are teaching the old people how to work internet.
Of course.
One of the most wondrous things is that you teach an old person how to use Chrome microphone. So you get these old people on Chrome microphone going,
oh, that'd be funny.
Give me the address of Moneypenny Holdings. No, that's not the fucking address. Try again. And it does. and it really does.
Mm,
Right?
okay.
No, you still haven't got it. Is this Melbourne? I want Sydney. Oh, don't tell me you don't know what you're doing. I want the address of Moneypenny, Sydney.
I have
No,
to
I want
admit,
their nuclear branch. Nuclear branch, Moneypenny, Sydney. That's it. Finally. Righto, go down, go down, go down. That's it. I want Cressida Williams. Phone that number for me because it's all taped into it's all linked into bloody what do they call it? When you call each other on the electric telephone, on the video.
Well,
oh,
video.
you video chat.
Video chat, right?
Yeah.
What's it called? It's called a thing. Skype chat.
Skype. Yeah. Okay.
Skype,
Yeah.
right? Okay, now you and like your good IT guy can hook all this up, right? So that your bloody search can hook up to your Skype, can hook up to your Dragon, and your Dragon runs around your page, basically looking at various different fields.
Cool.
And instead of going, I don't want that one, you silly bastard, I want that one. Right? Because the computer doesn't know what that is, but a Dragon does. And then it takes that field, mixes it up with, and of course, old people love the shit out of this because it can just abuse the computer, tell it what it wants, ring who it wants, and then says, right, now my electric dishwasher has been on the blink for 2 days. A day ago, your men would be out here to fix it, and they weren't. Who do I talk to about getting it fixed now? Not yesterday. We've lost yesterday. We want it done now. In the next 20 minutes, I want men to turn up here to fix my dishwasher, or my dishwasher is being taken out of my house and a new dishwasher is being put in, and you can pay for both your old dead dishwasher and my new dishwasher. Do you understand me? Well, I don't think we do that, ma'am. I've read the terms of the warranty, or the computer read them to me, and we've got, it's great. Old people in the internet is great. So you basically just fucking set them up and let them go. You
Wind them up and let them go.
Set and forget, basically. Set and forget.
You set and forget. And then if they have a
hey,
problem...
boys,
what?
I'm going to quickly pop out because I need to sign off and then I need to drive home. So if you're still online in about 20 minutes or so, I'll come back.
Okay.
But I've really enjoyed the chat, Andrew. It's been an interesting chat. I've actually been reading the comments and people have actually got a lot out of this, which is brilliant.
Can we talk about you when you're gone?
Only if you're nice about it.
See, I don't know.
Can I talk about you when I go?
Yeah, or what everyone does. Everyone always does. Everyone says, AJ, is he a stinky or just a licky?
I don't know.
Get that stink from saliva and that stink from the other end?
Can we not? Really?
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Girls say it. Boys say it. Dogs, they go roof, 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 roof.
Okay.
And still eat.
Andrew?
What?
I got to go, boys. I'll see you soon. I'll come back.
What about me?
I'll come back, AZ. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wasn't it neat to have the screen closed up like that?
That was kind of cool, actually.
Sorry, I thought that was pretty neat.
Fuck, sorry I'm late, man. I had fucking a million things to do today. And I've been up since 3 o'clock.
Yes, you are sounding a little sleep deprived, but
I fucking had I had a epiphany last night.
Yeah.
And then I slept for a couple of hours, and then I woke up, bing,
Yeah.
and I
Okay.
went, fucking get this organised today, son,
Yeah.
or it'll fucking gnaw at you forever. And so I didn't get anything written. I literally bought a fucking back bike full of writing materials and resting materials to write on.
Right.
And, as you are aware, it pissed down all morning.
Yeah.
And I walked into Elizabeth Street and caught the tram home.
Okay.
And then I dosed, and then I came home again. And I cleaned up, but I had a lot of thought, which was a lot helpful to me. This is not helping anyone. Right. My brother has been having some issues with a relationship of his. It is an
Right.
important relationship of his.
Yeah.
He has the option to end that relationship.
Yeah.
That will cause major ructions
Yeah.
in his life
Yeah.
and in the person whose relationship it is life.
Yeah.
Major ructions. And it's not just a I don't like you friend anymore. It's it's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
It's like okay, let's put it this way. You know the Johnson and Johnson?
Yes.
Yeah. Imagine them splitting up after 60 years.
Right. Right. So
Yeah.
it's going to be regarded as a big deal. Yeah.
It's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
And I said to him, I want you to, because he can't just say you're wrong, because he's a bit like me, right? If you just say you're wrong, he has a comeback for you, right? He has a comeback. He has an answer, because he's not a fuckwit. If you say you are wrong about this, this, and this, he will go, well, I'm right about this, this, and this because this, this, and this. Remember that his childhood, much like mine, has
Yes.
been spent justifying himself at every angle. At every
Right.
turn, at every angle, he's been belittled, he has been rejected, and he has been discounted. So every time he says something, it gets shat on. And for him to go, no, that's not a thing. Flip, 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 as the shit rolls off. People go, well, I'm ready to shit on it again. And he goes, no, here's proof. Oh, well, I don't know about that. And here's more proof. And here's more proof. So I can't turn around and say, you're wrong.
Yes.
I've got to turn around and say, I want you to think about this.
Yeah.
I want you to think about. So I've said to him, these are some meditations for you to think about while you go through this process of ending this relationship. I want you to think about what happened to start with. I want you to think about what happened to continue with. I want you to think about what happened in the big change. And I want you to think about what happened in the ongoing bitterness. And I want you to think about all of that stuff. And I want you to think about the thing that made you the number one man in this whole fucking paradigm.
Yeah.
And you've accidentally had a paradigm shift without you knowing it. And now you've got to have a paradigm shift with you knowing it. Are you aware of the idea of paradigm shift?
Yeah.
Not many people are, which is probably a good thing because it's how we get away with a lot of our shit. In fact, paradigm shift is bullshit, people. Ignore it. When we say paradigm shift, it's just some shit. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's some shit that, fucking arseholes use. It's a bit like saying my T-shirt is a poo shooter, whatever.
Oh my God, that was an actual brand of like surfwear in Australia in the 90s. Poo shooter.
Reg Mombasa.
No, I think it was actually a knockoff. It wasn't Reg Mombasa.
No,
it was someone who knocked off his style. He did Mambo. I think Poo Shooter was like a knockoff of his style.
No. Poo Shooter was Reg Mombasa by Mambo. I promise you.
You're making me look it up.
I promise you.
I've got to look. Poo Shooter clothes. Because I'm coming up with Urban Dictionary definitions, which are just going to be disturbing. Okay, it is bringing up Mambo as a related things. All right, here we go. Wikipedia for Mambo. No, it's not on their Wikipedia page. Fair enough. Poo Shooter brand. No, that was actually a scam site. Okay. Poo Shooter shirt. I think people just rip it off now. They don't exist anymore, but there's all these bloody cafe press and whatnot knockoffs.
Oh, I agree. Because it was such an iconic image of the 80s.
Yeah.
That the knockoffs would be thick and fast.
Well, okay. All I'm saying, because this brought up the graphic that I remember. Reg Mombasa may well have been involved in the company, but their iconic graphic is not a Reg Mombasa piece of art. It's done by someone else. That's categorically 100%. The Poo Shooter graphic is actually significantly different to Reg Mombasa's style. And your sleep dep is catching up with you.
You reckon?
Yep.
The reason I'm shutting my eyes a lot is I am 100% certain that I saw an interview with Reg Mombasa talking about Jesus and Poo Shooter.
Yeah.
For Mambo. Because Mambo didn't want Poo Shooter, then they did want it.
Yeah.
And he did quite a tidy sum on it.
Yeah. And again, I did just find the Reg Mombasa, the Poo Shooter icon that I remember, and it is absolutely categorically 1,000,000% definitely not Reg Mombasa. It's completely unlike his art style. So,
look, I can't disagree with you. I just know that I saw Reg talking about Poo Shooter, talking about how he made it, talking about Mambo taking it on. It was in his attic warehouse studio.
Yeah. I'm still trying to find something on. I'm just trying to look up clothing brand. Let me do that. No, it's all the fucking knockoffs. Poo shooter trademark is filed in wearing apparel. It's interesting because searching for poo shooter brings up Mambo graphics, which is interesting. It's got someone in America owns the trademark, which doesn't necessarily mean anything because American scammers trademark stuff they don't own all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
How many
Here we go. This might actually answer it for us. I found an article about Mambo coming back, and there's all the Reg Mombasa, and there's the farting dog, kangaroo. See, I'm trying to find poo. No. All available evidence is. It's really weird that Mambo Graphics keeps coming up when I search for it, but there's no link to them. There's nothing link. There's nothing on the front page of Google linking them, so therefore it doesn't exist. That's law of physics.
I was always under the impression from the interview that Mombasa was giving was that poo shooter was always a secondary, tertiary character within the whole.
Look, first, it's very easy to misremember things. Second, and this is absolutely inconclusive by any stretch of the imagination, the Wikipedia page for Mambo makes no mention of poo shooter. It's just not there. Now, that isn't conclusive by any stretch of the imagination. But yes, the iconic poo shooter design is definitely not a Reg Mombasa design. And that's the only thing I can say with confidence. But that doesn't mean he wasn't involved in the company. It doesn't mean it didn't somehow spin off from Mambo. I'm just too lazy to search past about 2 or 3 pages of Google results, and I didn't find anything that gave a conclusive answer. Orange is the New Black asks, what's your opinion on nationalizing heavy industries like mining so we can all reap the profits? Well, I think what we should do is empty the bank accounts of Gina Rinehart and everyone in the related companies who stole trillions of dollars in wealth from Australia. But some people think that's a bit of a radical stance to take. I don't know. It's like everything, the wealth that came from her father and all the spin-off companies is stolen. It was gained on false pretenses, and they effectively, with their other international cronies, stole trillions of dollars in wealth from the Australian people.
Trillions and trillions.
A reckoning will come.
It has to. It has to. At some point, the baby boomers will want to have all of their money for their healthcare as they get old. They will scream blue fucking murder that they are not as comfortable as they want to be. And they will scream, get our money from somewhere. And the government will simply have to go, well, we can't tax the corporates because they will slap us. What we can do is tell the ATO to steal all of the money out of the accounts of all of the companies that have been mining and primary producing en masse.
Kind of lean to what Musical Aviator is saying. If you take an aggressive move about nationalizing any of that, the CIA will make sure the government changes.
No. No, not nationalising. Oh, God, no. Not nationalising. Reallocating. Oh, God. No, you wouldn't want to nationalise. What
No,
you'd want to do was reallocate the money that they've already got
that's what
into
I want to do. Yes.
cleverer smelting
Hmm.
that then clearly is tested into Australian solar and electric sun. See,
Hmm.
sunlight should be able to be captured as a liquid, um, sunlight. And to do that, of course, you would need massive amounts of research
Hmm.
and massive amounts of space program to do that. You would need massive amounts of land use and construction
Hmm.
and learning
Yeah.
and computational. You can't buy computers overseas. It'd be ridiculous. You'd have to homegrown your own computers that would work on such a vast network of Australia, you
Hmm.
see, and you'd have to keep on sucking money out of the ore carriers. It's not nationalisation. Oh, God, no. It's ultra capitalisation. And in fact, you could tap the Americans on the shoulder and say, "Where's yours, buddy?
This
Where's
would all
yours?"
work flawlessly. There wouldn't be any CIA-backed coups of government, and there wouldn't be any people getting murdered in back alleys. It would absolutely work, I think.
Are you being sarcastic? Or are you being?
I'm being a little sarcastic. I think the CIA would get involved, and I think the mining companies would start murdering people.
But if you could show the CIA
Yeah,
that the American arms industry
yeah.
would be totally benefited by this, they
You're
would be
assuming
able.
they're rational. You're assuming they're rational. You're doing something that appears to be commie and affecting business interests. You're
No,
gone.
not commie. This is rather the point. What I'm saying is you are spreading the spend
Hmm.
across the new, um, what do they call it? Um,
Infrastructure.
market industrial,
Yeah.
military industrial complex in
Yeah.
Australia,
Yes.
right? And you would be, um, in effect,
Yeah.
military industrializing Australia
Yeah.
as this wonderful place with these massive fucking target ranges
Yeah.
and these massive fucking areas where no one's looking and where uh, satellites are made by gentlemen's agreements to look the other way.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have a very high opinion of these people, but they're not actually that stupid. I know you like pulling one over on people, but yeah, I know you're taking the piss, but and I am look. Although it's only a Tuesday, I'm going to make like a halftime cocktail because I saw something today that I like the sound of, and I want to make my own variation. I did see there were suggestions that I should have bushfire things called musical aviator or something with whipped cream to work in respect to the Nangs story, but I don't actually have any whipped cream or Nangs myself. But I don't know. I think I'm going to call this one "Going Nuts in Queensland," and it'll make sense when I get the ingredients. So I've got to get some things over here.
I once went nuts in Queensland. It was campaigning for the Joe Bielke Patterson campaign up
Yes.
at Widjigamultha.
Let
And there
me
were
put
these
these up.
three fags there sitting there toward the end of the seats there because it was
Yeah.
a bus stop that we had there. And the 3 seats at the end were in the sun, and they were in black, of course. They were fags, of course. And they were a party called the Australian Nazi Party.
The Australian Nazi Party.
And they were the biggest bunch of fags you've ever met in your life. I tell you, it was hard to keep a straight face because, I mean, eventually you get bored as the buses take 6 hours to arrive. And you ask these people, well, what's your policy direction all about? And they say things like, oh, killing niggers.
Hey!
Hello, gorgeous. How you doing?
I'm at home now.
Bullshitting there for a while.
Yeah, that's okay.
I was talking about being a Joe Bjelke-Peterson supporter, saying that Nazis were lightweight.
Oh, God. I thought you were talking about Nazis.
I'm going to make a drink. This is my Queensland drink because it's all very tropical. And I'll explain.
Oh, well, I'm actually making some peach Melba tea right now. That I got this in Berrima when I went and visited my friend who had a baby. And they have a little tea shop there, and it is peach Melba tea. Oh. And it is really nice.
Lisa, you look a bit more gorgeous now than you did before.
That's because I'm not in my work clothes, Aidsy.
All right. So I'm just going to step through. This is my cocktail. It's lime-infused Bundaberg white rum. That's Queensland.
Oh, fucking yes.
This is the nutty part, my nuts in Queensland, an Australian macadamia based liqueur.
Oh, dude, where's mine? Seriously, gel. I'm gel right now.
Good point.
Pardon?
I might have a cocktail party soon. Who knows?
Oh, please. I will drink all the things.
Excuse me, Lisa. If you would like to speak a language that we all might understand, gel is not a word for jealousy.
Jelly.
Now, this is banana liqueur. We're going, big banana Coffs Harbour style.
Oh, I was up there not long ago when the fires were happening, actually. Yeah, I flew in on Tiger. Yeah, I was lucky I was on the Tiger.
That's a bigger risk than the bushfires, really.
Run around in a bushfire. Don't drive Tiger.
No, actually, the Qantas...
I'll be back in a sec.
The Qantas plane got turned back around because it was too small to land. The Tiger plane, at least, it actually landed. Oh, my God, I got a story about that. Jesus.
Tell us a story about that.
Well, anyway... I went home to see my mum for a holiday because I hadn't been home for 5 years, and this was
Did the fight finally end or did it just fizzle?
No, it's still going.
Yeah, right.
It's still going, even though they had a downpour today. So anywho, this was the fires that were at Nambucca, so up at Nambucca Heads, Bellingen, Armidale Way, and so the smoke was. So it was like
grandfather used to live.
Yeah, so anyway, 9 o'clock in the morning I'm getting in because I left Melbourne at 7 and I'm flying in and then the plane's going to land. I'm like, cool, the plane's going to land. And then all of a sudden it decided to just go and I'm in the cabin, I'm thinking, oh fuck no, ISIS has taken over. So I thought, fuck, here we go. Knowing my luck, I got on the plane with the terrorist. Great. So we fly up, straight up over the sea, over Coffs Harbour, and I'm sitting there and I'm starting to fret and I'm thinking, oh, fuck, oh, no. I've got anxiety, so that doesn't help. And I'm thinking, oh, fuck, no, here we go. We're going to go diving into the sea. I'm going to be dead. It's all over. I didn't send a text to Mum telling her I loved her. I'm fucked. The dog's going to become like an orphan. So the next minute they come over the thing and they go, oh, just to let you know, due to heavy smoke over Coffs Harbour Airport, we'll be attempting to try and land in the next 20 minutes. And I'm thinking, oh, thank God. Right, okay, cool. Then the next minute, literally a minute afterwards, the plane goes around, comes around, goes down, and I'm thinking, fuck, we're going in really fast. Oh, fuck, here we go. And then we hit, and when we hit, it was like, boom. And then as I hit, I thought I really went into the fucking race position because it hit so hard. And I'm looking out the window, and I don't know if you've ever been to Coffs Harbour Airport, but the landing strip isn't very long. And then we get right down to the end, and then all of a sudden it decides to do like a really quick, like right-hand hard turn, and then stops.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm sitting there, and I'm just like,
those last fucking off ramps, you think, that's not fucking part of the plan, is it?
No, this was not part of the plan.
Just fucking part of the. Oh yeah,
I actually vlogged my reaction.
It's bullshit because it gives you an extra 1,800 meters of runway, right? So all you've got to do is flick that tiller, and you're fucking moving. Your fucking aircraft engines are still in fucking reverse when you've hit the fucking off ramps.
Oh, it just scared me. It scared me.
Over 60 knots, which
it scared the shit out of me, AZ, that's for sure.
And 60 kilometers per hour. You are still going 165 kilometers per hour if you're fucking reversing jets are still on. Fucking. So you're going on a 35-degree. Imagine doing that in a car, right?
Oh, it scared the shit out of me.
You're going fucking 100, yeah? You're going 100, 100. You're starting to step on the brakes, and then 45-degree turn 80.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just scared the shit. So I get off the plane, right, and I walk out onto the tarmac, like at Coffs Harbour Airport is bogan as fuck. My mum's waiting at the door, and I go, holy shit, I thought I was going to die. She goes, I know. Well, she goes, well, you're lucky because the Qantas plane got turned back around and sent back to Sydney. I'm thinking, oh, fuck. And then she just walks off. I said, oh, thanks, Mum. I haven't seen you for 6 months. No hug. No hi, how are you? I just walk off. Just leave me there. And then I go into the toilet and everyone's like, holy shit. I'm like, yeah, lucky the Qantas plane. We weren't on Qantas. They didn't land. And here I am standing there waiting for my bloody luggage. And I've gone to Mum, you think you could give me a hug? I nearly died. And she's like, no, you didn't. You'll be right. Shut up. Get your stuff and let's go. And I was like, can I get a coffee, please? No, you're not buying a coffee from here. They're like $10. I'm like, oh. So I had to settle for shitty Macca's McCafe coffee, which is just, after being in Melbourne for 5 years this year, I can't do it anymore. It's like a crime against my taste buds.
You know what else happens when you're in Melbourne? So where did you grow up, Coffs?
No, Kempsey.
Right, okay, Kempsey. You grew up in Dubbo, yeah, right?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I grew up in Dubbo.
Yeah.
When you live in Melbourne for more than 18 to 24 months, wherever the fuck you go back to is way too hot or cold.
Yes, that's right, it is.
Fuck.
He's right. I don't miss the heat up there, though. When I went up there, it was nice.
Yeah.
Right.
It was actually civil for once.
Went to my brother's wedding. Now, my brother and I used to be the kids because we were third generation Canberrans.
And yes,
I've been to Canberra as well.
Can be very cold.
I've been to Canberra in the middle of winter. It was good.
It is normally -4. It is normally -4. Over daytime, it is normally -2 or -3. Normally. Right? And my brother and I would walk around -1, -2 in shorts and t-shirt. Shoes. No, we weren't fucking idiots. We weren't wearing thongs. We weren't fucking retarded. Jesus,
just showing everyone in the stream what the colour the tea is, by the way. That's the colour of the peach Melba tea.
And my cocktail is, I don't know, it's not quite a urine sample. It's a bit too orange for a urine sample.
No, it's a bit too orange for urine. But, yeah, that is the colour of the peach Melba tea. And, yes, I'll be getting more sent to me in the fucking mail because this is delicious. And if it had vodka, I'd be really happy right now.
I'm just trying.
Very heavy.
I've got
For
an
those who
idea.
are wondering about my nutty Queensland drink, so it's lime infused white Bundaberg rum, macadamia nut liqueur, banana liqueur, lime juice, and some coconut pineapple juice. And it doesn't taste like alcohol. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
This would be a very dangerous thing to hand around because you could just knock it back.
Life goal achieved. Also, I just want to address Fox of Fate in the chat. I've just had a quick look. If you go to my Facebook page for my YouTube channel, Lisa Carroll Vlogs, I'll put it in the comments. I've been sharing a lot of stuff that's been going on in Kempsey and the Macleay quite a lot. And like Willawarrin, because I'm sixth generation of the town, so like for me, it's kind of like a big deal that the place is burning down. And my mum actually drove all the way up to like Bellbrook because her brother's actually up at 5 Day, like Carrai East and all that kind of stuff. And she said to me, she has never seen anything like it in her life. She said it's just basically like the end of the earth, like it's like hell. Our neighbour Kathy, like our good friend Kathy, she lives like in the middle of the bush. And she said as she was driving out, the fire was just licking up the sides of the car. Like she thought that their house was actually going to burn down. And like, because a guy named Barry Parsons, unfortunately he perished in the fire. And like the way the media reported on him was pretty sad. Like it was like they were like just say, oh, he's just a loner and all the rest. And it's like, no, he actually was a part of quite a vibrant community. And if you look at the photos I've shared, like it actually burnt into Willawarrin to the road. And I know that little town very well. It's only like one road. Like it's just one road. And like the pub, like my grandfather and all that built the pub. And like they saved the pub, they saved the school, and they saved the general store. But like it just decimated everything. Like I've never seen anything like it. And I grew up with bushfires and it was nothing like I've ever seen before. And you know, what it has brought up, like the whole thing about fire control and, you know, back burning. And like we used to do all that and then they won't allow us to do it anymore because they've just pulled all this money out of RFS, which is just ridiculous. And like the other sad part about it too is unfortunately people are pricks at this point. And I'm a member of like a few of like the Kempsey Crime Watch pages. And like there's like fires in the Macleay. And so typical welfare town, people are going to the evacuation centre saying they're a victim of the fires to get free food and free clothes and free everything else. It's like you've got to be joking, right? And like they're doing over houses, like people are trying to light other fires. And it's just like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And then they're going around scamming, trying to raise money for victims and keeping the money themselves. And it's just like, you've got to be joking. And all the times that you could do it, it's like right now. Like my uncle the other day, I had my mother ringing me going, the fire's like 300 meters from his house and he's got cancer. He went back up there to feed his animals and everything else. And like, you know, I've got my brother ringing me from Newcastle going, call the fire brigade. I'm like, I'm in Melbourne. It will go to a different exchange. No, ring them now. I don't know the address. I'm going to drive up there and see if I can save him. I'm like, no, turn around and go back to Newcastle. Like, it's like, like what happened to Bobbin near Taree was just apocalyptic. Like, I've been watching the news on that. Like, Kempsey's only an hour and a half up the road from there. And, like, the photos I've seen of what's going on in Kempsey is, like, it's insane. Like, I actually thought it was going to fly. Like, the town was going to catch on fire. Like, it was... Like my cousin lost his house. He lost everything. He's in his 80s and he lost everything. Yeah. His house was just burned to the ground. And it's like, it's disgusting.
Is a good word for it. Yeah.
It really is. It's like the end of days. And then you've got like everyone arguing over fucking climate change and everything else. It's like, don't make this political. Just fucking help people. We'll have the conversation in like 2 months. Let's just address the problem now.
Except we won't. But yes.
Yeah, we won't. But I mean, that's the thing. It's like, you know, these people need help now. Like, there's a woman there, and like I started a fundraiser. I've only raised like $20, but whatever. But there's a young woman there who's a single mother of 2. Her entire house was just wiped out. She's lost absolutely everything. I even messaged her, and she was like, "Oh my God, thank you for messaging me. It means so much." I'm like, "You poor bugger! Like, you've just lost." Everything, like, it's, you know, like, and like for me, like, you know, like if I ever took you to the Kempsey Museum, you'd say to me, Andrew, you'd say to me, fuck, Lisa, this is all you. I'm like, yes, it's all me. Like, my whole history is there. But, like, you know, like, I've got friends from school messaging me saying, you know, this is like sending me photos of like what the sky was orange. Like, it was dark orange. Like, it was like the embers are like huge. And it's like, you know, you've got a government trying to politicize this. Like, don't politicize this. Just do something.
Blows my mind.
What blows your mind?
Go on, Hazy.
Right? Is that it is not a debate. It is night and day. It is yes and no.
Yeah.
It is a yes thing. There is no debate anymore. Climate change is real.
Yeah, it is. Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Bushfires.
You should go listen. No, you should go listen to the podcast Background Briefing on ABC. And there's one called No Water, No Us, and it's about how the towns out west in Western New South Wales, like Nyngan and like all those surrounding, near Dubbo, Burke, Canamble, all that, and how they're trucking in water and how people are thieving water because they've got like the high priority licenses. It's all about that. And like how there's illegal pumps, and even the ABC tried to report them, and the authority, like the water, the EPA or whatever it was, were like, oh, sorry, we can't find that on the map, even though they were given Google Map coordinates. And it's like, you've got to be fucking joking. Like, these towns are going to like die.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, here's the thing that blows my mind, right?
Yeah.
When the atomic age happened, it was the most secret, the most well-funded, the most staffed and researched thing ever, right? And it was trundled along over 30 years, okay? Now, as the information came out in discrete blocks that the public could not only understand, but could get behind to fund. Now, the idea of get behind to fund was, if we don't fund this, then the dirty commies will blow the fuck out of us.
Yeah.
Right. Now let's get on to the next stage. Environmental science comes out and says there's really something wrong with the way that temperatures have gone up. This could be bad for us. Then 100 people and their fucking dog came out with different numbers. It was a fucking mad woman shit. It was all over the place. The message was everywhere. And so the coal companies, not the oil companies, I shit you not, for years were looking for an out.
Yeah, because they knew what they would do. They know what they're doing is wrong.
They were peak oil. They knew that they were running out of oil. They knew at some stage they had to change their fuel system. They knew at some stage they had to go solar or hydrogen or solar or nuclear. They had to work it out, and they had to work it out over a period of 20 years, right? They loved this shit.
Yeah.
And then fracker and a fuck up, and then the coal people moved in and said, oh, it's only a theory. Just like fucking evolution's only a theory. It's only a theory.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, like, it's like how they allegedly there was a 3-stroke engine invented in Australia. A guy invented it years ago, and then I think it was like a major like petrol company or a coal company came along, brought the idea off him, and it never went anywhere. They actually brought the entire patent because if that came out, that would have actually reduced fuel consumption.
Yeah. that sort of urban legend has been around since the mid 20th century.
Yeah.
Someone invented a car that could drive on water. And at various points in history, that sort of activity would definitely have been possible. It's not possible today. Someone with a truly innovative technology will get it out today. But look, I just actually completely diverting. I don't want to ignore in the chat. Timothy has been telling me he's been bringing out Pokemon games, and I don't actually play Pokemon games on the video game machine. But he apparently loved Death Stranding, and I don't know.
Death Stranding's huge at the moment.
I don't know if you've even heard of this. Is this weird game in development for a couple of years by renowned Japanese game designer Hideo Kojima.
Very popular.
It was always going to be weird, and it was really good because the advanced publicity stuff, the trailers and whatnot, were so opaque and indecipherable. You had like no idea what's happening, and now it's finally out, and it's got a lot of big name actors that done the motion capture and acting for it, what's his name?
They've got Norman Reedus, haven't they?
Yeah, Norman Reedus is the lead in it. He's Daryl in The Walking Dead. Mads Mikkelsen is in it. A couple of well-known female actors are in it. Apparently, the main thing is you've got to walk a lot in the game, and you stack
walk
up
for hours,
and you've got to balance your load so you don't fall over.
Pause for a second.
Yeah,
Lisa, you are jumping around in this frame, aren't you?
I was there for a bit. I had to plug in my phone, and then I tried putting my phone on the side.
Sorry, Angry. Please continue. I thought I was tripping balls.
No, it's all right. Sorry.
But you might be tripping balls. But yeah, because the phone does the fun thing as Lisa tilts it. She'll tilt off to the side, and then it'll go, I'm doing my adjusting thing, and she'll flip back around. So that's why it was as disconcerting as it was.
Sorry, everyone.
That's all right, Lisa. You're gorgeous. You're still gorgeous. You're still gorgeouser than Angry.
Well, that's not hard. That's a very low bar. That's a very low bar.
You're my dog just as gorgeouser as me, but what can you do?
My dog has come back now. Scout, come up here and join the chat. Come up here and join the chat. Look, there's the doggy. No, look at me, doggy.
Isn't even as pretty as me. My last little point that I was going to make about the whole fucking commentary was that the communication's been very bad. The public hasn't got behind it because they're confused. And if we had one message,
they're incredibly confused.
We need one more fuel. We need new fuel. That's all we need is new fuel. That's it.
And some of the advances with batteries might do it because you got.
It's just a shame that. Well, the Tesla battery actually, to make one, actually causes more greenhouse gases than it does save over its entire lifetime. A lithium battery. Which is a shame.
Not necessarily true. That may well have been put out by various people. There are lots and lots of lies circulated.
Yeah, to mine lithium is really horrible. That's
it just involves slavery and pollution.
Go to the Himalayas. It's
Pardon?
actually not fucking bad at all. If you go to the Himalayas, it fucking scrapes off the top of the salt.
Oh, really?
Fucking A.
Oh, I never knew that.
Elon has gone to the caravan makers and said, I will give you all of this shit if you take fucking oxen and wooden plows and hoses and all the other shit en masse to scrape this shit up, not use fucking diesel fucking combine harvesters, not use trucks, and not use fucking fucking metal and engine technology, but just use fucking animals to drag it up, thousands and thousands and thousands of them, all right, it will fucking come in under.
Okay.
And, look.
I wasn't aware that Elon was doing it like that.
The thing is with Elon is he came up with fuck all and said, I'm going to get into rockets. And everyone said, oh, yeah, get fucked. And then he got into rockets. And then he was already into electric cars and said, everyone gets, yeah, get fucked. You're not into electric cars. And then he was. And now he's into going to Mars and everyone's saying, get fucked.
But he also believes we live in a simulation.
But it looks like, well, there's a lot of evidence that we do.
Oh no, we're going to go down a rabbit hole now, everyone. We're going down now.
That's the trouble. We already are.
I'm just gonna address some stuff in the chat. Fox of Fate. Yeah, I understand. There's a lot of koalas that are lost in Port Macquarie, and I'm very sad. But yeah, Kempsey doesn't have koalas because we don't have the right eucalypts. Apparently, they don't live in the Macleay Valley. They only live over in Hastings. And also, yes, Music Caviator said, yeah, Berejiklian takes $121 million out of fire services. Berejiklian blames fires on Greens, which is fucking stupid, and then tells us not to politicise the fires. Yeah, that's an oxymoron. I've ever heard one. And Safa, yeah, you've missed a lot, Safa. We've been talking about a lot of different things. And Justin, hi, Justin. Yes, Afghanistan is full of lithium, enough to transform the country if they stopped fighting. Yeah, that's actually true. Yes, I do agree with that.
You know what? And I'm not shitting you here. If we paid the Afghanis to stop playing with the ISIL kids, that would jam a wedge right down through the ISIL kids. The Afghanis would be paid much, much more than fucking opium dealing. The money would come in hand over fist, and basically we would kill 3 birds with one stone.
Yeah, but you're relying on a couple of things that just aren't going to happen. Namely, the Taliban is still a very strong force in Afghanistan.
Agreed. Yeah, they are.
They're aggressively opposed to that sort of technology. And also foreign interests, if they got in the door in Afghanistan, they would just act criminally to exploit the Afghanis. And that's going to give fuel to the Taliban. And as we all know from the history of Afghanistan, anyone who's tried to invade, annex, or go to war with Afghanistan over centuries has had it end very badly. It was basically like, if you could trust international corporations to be fair and to be equitable with the people of Afghanistan, it would work. But there's sort of governments and companies that would get involved in lithium mining in Afghanistan, fucking criminal enterprises, and they would fuck over the Afghanis. And the Afghanis are so used to being fucked over by foreign interests, they're not going to believe the lies of the Americans or the Europeans or the Russians or anyone who says, no, mate, we're doing it for you. And they would blow it all up.
If we say to the Afghans, hey guys, you've got a shitload of lithium. I will pay you $180 a ton. If you give me a ton, I will give you $180. That's it.
Yeah, but again, you're relying on the companies and governments who would want to do that being fair and equitable, and
they're not.
They never have. They never will be. They will always behave like criminals. They will always lie and steal, and the Afghans will know they're being lied to and stolen from. And so,
dude, you need to watch Fahrenheit 9/11. Michael Moore explained this like fucking over a decade ago. Like, I mean, if you go watch Fahrenheit 9/11 and then tell me that, because like the whole thing is that the only reason they invaded Afghanistan in the first place, they used Osama bin Laden as an excuse, because it turns out Afghanistan's got like the biggest mineral deposits in the world that have been completely unmined. They also like have like the biggest lots of opium in the world. Like, the thing is, Afghanistan really is like an untapped natural resource base that the West wanted.
So
And
why not go through and annihilate the fucking lot of them and mine it?
Well,
the
see,
thing
that's
was,
also
it's
been
so
attempted
fucking
multiple
evil.
times.
If it's
The
so
British-
fucking evil, take them out.
No,
No,
the
they're
Afghans
not.
aren't
They're
evil.
not. They're not.
The
They're actually
foreign
not.
countries who want to take the stuff, they're the evil ones. The British tried in the 19th century, in the 20th century. The Russians tried, the Americans tried,
I
and they all failed.
I actually watched the Putin interviews that Oliver Stone did, which was really interesting because he interviewed Putin over a year, and Putin talks about that because, like he said, ISIS is a threat to everybody. Like, as far as he's concerned, like, ISIS is fucked, and he said, look, we had it all in control. They just went in and bombed the shit out of Mosul. They were like, fuck it, we're just going to go in there and, you know, just get rid of these crazy people and it'll be fine. And like you said, everything was fine until America got involved. He said, then America got involved and they fucked it up. That's basically what he said in a nutshell. And, you know, the fact that Osama bin Laden was actually recruited by the Americans, trained by the Americans to fight the Russians, and then he turned on the Russians and then turned on the Americans and then did the whole 9/11 thing. You know what I mean? But basically what Putin was saying was, if America actually was our ally instead of our enemy, we would have just annihilated this threat a long time ago. That's basically what he said in a nutshell. Like, go watch the Putin interviews with Oliver Stone. Fascinating watch. Like, it's Putin to me. I watched it and I was like, don't agree with everything you got to say there, man. But at the same time, for some strange reason, I actually have to respect you because, like, he really is a very intelligent person. Like, he's like, you watch him and you're like, fuck, man, I don't want to piss you off.
Yeah, but Putin's also, he's a liar, he's a tyrant, he's a murderer, and Russia tried to invade and control Afghanistan and failed. Him saying there was some easy way to do it is a lie. And Oliver Stone is a paranoid fucking lunatic. Oliver Stone is completely disconnected from reality. He's made some good films, but he's a paranoid, very poor grip on reality individual.
I did like The Untold History of the United States of America, though. That was a real eye-opener. That one was very interesting about how Stalin and the Second World War and all that. That was very, very interesting.
Yeah.
I have to admit. And, like, a lot of that does check out. But yeah, I had a very strong feeling that Stone, to me, seemed like a bit like more like a Russian sympathizer as well. You know what I mean?
Stone's paranoia has manifested in a not completely unjustified feeling that the powers that control America are evil and dangerous. You know, they killed JFK. The entrenched power system in the US killed JFK. And
could have.
Sorry?
Well, they could have.
Yeah, no, exactly. They could have. Yeah, and
yeah,
Stone
like, I mean, there was that movie with Kevin Costner where they decided to do a whole trial with it,
which was an Oliver Stone movie.
Right.
Oliver Stone is paranoid, and he made a hero out of Jim Garrison, and Jim Garrison is borderline insane. Jim Garrison is just that's the
prosecutor, isn't it? That was the prosecutor.
That's Kevin Costner.
Little thing about America.
Because the whole thing was, but before I let you go, AZ, because the whole thing with Kennedy, wasn't he going to stop the arms trade? Like, wasn't that what they believed?
No. Kennedy was part of the establishment. He did piss off a bunch of people. So the list of people who wanted to kill him was reasonably long.
Really high, but
he
was going to stop the arms trade. That was never going to happen. One of the things that I want to talk about the US is NASA. NASA is an open source organization.
Right.
It is the only space program in the world
Yeah.
that is open source. Everything
Yeah.
that they get down sourced from their probes, from their astronauts, from their whatever, everything they get into their computers, they must redistribute it on the World Wide Web
Really?
and within 24 hours. They must
Fuck.
within 24 hours.
So is that why?
Go on.
So is that why there's YouTube channels where people watch launches live and stuff like that?
Yep.
And like you can actually watch the rockets go up into the space and everything else. That's cool.
That's right.
Ah.
Also, every medical discovery that is understood within 24 hours must be released within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Any medical discovery that is as a result of microgravity research is non-patented and is released open. They don't call it open source; they call it public domain.
Oh yeah, public domain. Yeah.
So you can patent a couple of little bits and pieces here and there because you discovered something else on top of it, sure. But the main thing is public domain.
Okay.
Right? So this is the evil America that we know.
Yes.
Evil America moved into the Balkan War 2.5 years before the EEC, what do they call it? EEC? What do they call it? EEC?
United Nations.
No, the EEC.
NATO.
European Union?
NATO. European Union.
Yep, the EU. Yep.
Right? Were able to.
Wow.
Yeah.
The EU were debating what to do with the war in the Balkans.
Kosovo, particularly.
Kosovo, particularly
Kosovo was horrendous.
When they had mass graves of Muslim men and boys.
Yes.
And Clinton says, fucking enough is enough.
Yeah.
Send in our warplanes and our fucking aircraft carriers right now. I want these cunts understood that they are not allowed to walk into other people's countries and kick over their furniture. I want them to understand that in a big fucking way. I want Belgrade without power and without sewerage overnight. And it happened.
Yeah.
So this big nasty America keeps on giving us things that we don't ever tend to have.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
understand all this too, right? One of the things they did, they used to have these underwater submersible craft that used to be for the rescue of submarines that had gone too deep.
Right.
Bullshit. As soon as a submarine goes too deep, it crushes.
Yeah, it does.
These things were spy submarines. They went right down to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
And they were basically there to pick up on taps. They were wiretaps. They went from Russian bases to Russian bases underneath the ocean, and they would put a wiretap on, and then they would put a lead right out, and then they would change the tapes. Like incredible 1970s technology. They used cassette tapes. And they changed them over. These days, of course, they just optic fiber them up to the satellite. But they basically did this, and what they found out was they listened to the enemy. And they listened to the enemy talk to one another across secure lines. and across secure lines, they heard them talking to one another, and they heard one guy talking to his friend about how to impress his girlfriend in English.
Oh.
Am I doing this right? No, you're not doing this right. Am I doing this right? What am I supposed to wear? Do I wear the leather? No, leather's too uncool. Wear the denim thing with the wolf on it, because then you'll look cooler. And put one blonde in your hair, because that'll look cool, right?
Right.
You know, this was our enemy. This was who they were.
Yeah.
Right. Now, the other thing that the Americans basically
make it quick because I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I'm going to have to go to bed too. And I think we've lost everyone in the chat.
All right. I'm going to say goodnight to her. I did want to say, when you brought up the NASA stuff, which is true, that's actually a plot device in The Martian, the novel and the movie The Martian. When they discover stuff that they think is bad PR, they look at it and go, we're not allowed to not tell people. We have to tell them we've discovered the guy on Mars is still alive. Oh, something went wrong. We actually have to tell people. We're not allowed to not tell them. And I do just want to sign off from the chat when Fox of Fate just threw in, people focus too much on Russia this and Russia that. China's a big threat. That just made me think of Reverend Lovejoy in The Simpsons in the Gabbo episode. Everyone's saying Gabbo this and Gabbo that, but no one's saying worship this and Jericho that. But that's that. Look, I'm going to say good night to all the fine people in the chat.
Yeah, good night, everyone.
Thank you so much for coming.
I've enjoyed this. This is fun.
It's fun. We'll have to throw the doors open one night.
You're not coming anymore.
Because I think
Pardon?
6 people.
You're not coming anymore because you're prettier than both of us.
Hey, look, I'm happy to, Andrew, I'm happy to come back on again. This has been fun.
Well, we might do an open. We did an open door once. I think we can get up to 6 people in here, but
that'd be fun.
Yeah, because Lisa's prettier. I'm going to wear face paint.
See, should be like that.
And I'm going to be beautiful like Lisa.
Yeah. Well, that's something to strive for. But we'll just say good night to everyone now.
Bye, everyone. Night.
And we're going.